You can also create those automations from your project settings if you don't have admin settings, but you have project settings, right? But we are going to do it everything from the global perspective today. Create rule with the blue button here, and let's create something from scratch. So first of all, when you're starting to think about automation, you need to think about what you can automate. And first thing that came into my mind is that what is quite repetitive. So first of all, for example, in my work, I need to create reports every single month. No matter what month it is, but I need to do it. So if this is a repetitive and this is a recurring task, we should automate it, because why on earth should we create the same task every single month or even every single week? So the first automation will be about scheduling. So from those who are totally new to automations, we need to have a trigger. So the event that triggers the role to fire up, and then we need to have some actions. So our first trigger here will be scheduled. Here you see you have some console to click, date and time, end date. For my reports, it never ends. Every single month I need to create them. And now occurrence. Run rule every. One per week. Not for me. I will go one per month. First day of month at my 9 a.m. of my time zone. You can see it here when it's going to be a next run. You can create it even hourly or days. I will show you the other automation that will be scheduled per day, but this one month is totally fine with me. If you have something in your company that, for example, is about policies, annual renewals, or something like that, I highly recommend to automate it, because you won't forget about it. And now, when scheduled, what I need to do, then I need to create work item. Let's find it, create work item. And here, you need to figure out in what space, meaning project, it will be. It will be for my marketing team. And here we have issue types. It will be a task. And in this drop down, you need to figure out what fields you would like to automatically fulfill. First of all, summary is required. And what I would like to know, it will be reports. That's obvious. But I would like to not only have reports, but I would like to have, for example, reports March, reports April. And this is very easy to create with smart values here. If you click here, you have the whole library of these ones. Feel free to explore it. If you don't feel comfortable with this library, you can even ask AI, meaning Gemini, GPT, whatever, to create smart values for Jira for here. For me, I have it already here. So we have reports, now format, and those are months. So it will be reports, April, reports, May. That's description. Description in automations are quite powerful because they can be a predefined values. For example, if you have a Q&A tester, you can put predefined values here. For example, what you need them to put in bug description. What they have to be in this ticket to actually be useful and meaningful to developer teams. And what I also would like to edit is assignee here and maybe due date. And let's take a look. So assignee, I would like to have me as a team leader, and now due date. Also, you can use smart values here, and as you can see, this proposal here is quite nice because it will be now plus business days 5. So I have all the 5 business days to create it, meaning what, 1 week. So let's do it. Now plus business days 5 and next. And this one is actually done. If you want to go one step further, you can start creating subtask for it. So you will have to add component and add branching. Branching is like creating a little automation for a above piece. And here we need to find most recently created work item, meaning that what happened in this branch will be related to this task. And next. And then let's find subtask, create subtask. And here I can, for example, predefine that I need to have sales, right? And even marketing. And so go on. So here we have the automation that runs every single month at first day of the month and creates for me task in my project. I am assignee, I know the due date, and I have created 2 subtasks with it. And that's all. When you are creating a rule, you need to turn this on and you have to name it. And the name, like I like to name it after the trigger. So it will be scheduled reports marketing, for example, right? Turn on the rule and it's done. If you go to audit log, you will see the whole, the all runs and also the errors. So if there is going to be some error, you will see it and you will also get notified on email. Okay, that was our first one. Now let's also stick to the scheduled one, but this actually is quite fun one because this rule I am going to show you will be about pinging stale tickets. So I would like to have automation that add comment to tickets that are not moved to the next status, or they are not resolved. They weren't like updated for more than 5 days, or 3 or 4, wherever you like. But I would like to make sure that I have no bottlenecks on my board in my projects and that we don't have stale tickets that last there without any updates. And if we have, I would like to know why. So first of all, this rule also needs to be scheduled because we need to check every single day if we have those tickets on board. So here, let's do days. I start my work at 9 a.m. That's fine. Europe, Warsaw. That's me. And now we should run a JQL search because there is no automation that will, like, we need to filter those tickets. We need to find them. So JQL is the best way here. If you don't know what JQL is, this is a Jira query language, and you can filter all issues with it more advanced than a basic filters. So for example, with JQL string, you can pull out tickets that are assigned to you. They are in project name X, and also, for example, are in blocker priority. So here we need to add a JQL that says that status, or I have it here, perfect. Status is not in done, resolved, completed. I checked before what resolution statuses we have in our instance. So make sure you check it, because if you will leave here only done and not those one, and we have in different projects different names for different statuses, which is wrong, but it happens, it won't be working for every ticket, right? So you need to make sure that here you have completed statuses correctly and updated less than 5 days. This -5 days means that less than 5 days. And now next. Now I would like to add a comment. So comment on work item. And here you can just type what you need. So for example, hi, I need update on this ticket. Assignee will get notified and reporter will get notified. So all good. If you need, you can also use smart values here to put assignee. I think it would be something like assignee, assignee name, display name, something like that. But I would have to double check it here. But that's fine. But what if we don't have assignee there? You can add component and a condition if. Then let's find work item fields condition. Let's find assignee, and it's not empty. So if you want to make comment only for assignees and you want to tag them and you don't want to run this to the tickets that are not unassigned, you can put this little if condition to make it work. And that's our second one. You need to turn on, name your role. I'm going to leave it because I have already 3 on that use case, so I'm not going to save it, but save it and name it. Okay, speaking of assignee, the third one. So this one, actually, we set up it for most of our customers, and in 90% of use cases, it's a proper one. So we hate unassigned tickets. Just imagine that we have a board with 60 tickets on the board and they are not assigned. You don't know what is doing what. You have daily stand-ups. And of course, for example, developers are taking those tickets and moving to in progress, but you don't know who is actually responsible for. And we know that teams, very often, they don't like use Jira. They find it quite unuseful, spare, and so on. And just because it's too complicated for them. So let's make their life a little bit easier. And this one is going to be if our trigger is transition. From, for example, you can here define if you want to make this automation goes from status to do to in progress. I can leave it from every status to all status. So when anybody have ticket moved from one status to another, back forth or further and so on, then we need to assign work item, here specify user, and here user who triggered the event. So if I am a QA specialist and I need to work on this ticket that I'm moving to in progress, I will be automatically assigned to it. And of course, they can happen use cases where you are not going to be assignee of the ticket that you moved, but it's like 2%. And this one is super easy, but as you can see, quite powerful. Turn on the rule, name it, and this one is done. Okay, maybe let's create one from template. You have templates here, and you even have Rovo here, where you can pitch to AI. Rovo is like AI, like a AI inside Jira, so you can pitch your automation here, and you have to, of course, double check if it was built correctly, but I think it works pretty well. As you can see, you have some Loom components here. This is new. And some service managements. So lots of templates, but let's try to create one with Rovo, and this one is going to be one of quite annoying one too. So when all subtasks are done, I want to close parent. And let's see if it's going to work. Yeah, quite fast. And okay, let's evaluate it. Trigger: when work item is transition to done for parent, and if all subtask status meaning done, here you should have also this completed, resolved, and so on, then transition the work item to done. Quite easy, quite fast. And you can also try creating your own automations with Rovo. You just need to go to the templates and pitch to it. I think if we can search here for subtasks, we also have a template for it. So when all subtasks are done, move parents to done. And as you can see, it's just the same, a little bit different here with if conditions. So once again, when work item is transitioned to done, and here we have branch for parent, status does not equal done, and subtasks are done, then transition work item to done. I think that's a little bit more accurate, but feel free to explore it in templates. Okay. You can also do a little bit something different in your workflow editor, because you can validate transition that you can't move your ticket to done if the subtasks are not done. This is also quite cool. And this is like reversing this rule. So having this rule and validators on resolution transition means that you won't have like open tasks, open subtask when the parent is done, and open parents when the subtasks are done. It will get your board quite clear. Okay. What else? Okay, let's talk about sending emails. So if your company works on Outlook, like meaning email, or even on Slack, and you would like to make sure that all critical new tickets are seen, they are not missed, you can create a simple automation to notify your team workers. So here we will have a trigger. So work item is created. This is a trigger. So somebody create a work item. Now let's add condition. You can add condition here, but also you can do it with if a component. This looks a little bit neat. Work item fields condition, priority equals, and for example, let's make it for critical, and next. Then send customized emails. As you can see, you have here send email or send customized email. This customized email is a little bit more advanced. Here you have your internal name, so it's not for recipients. Here you need to choose a recipient. Assignee is the best one. From, this is your instance domain, subject, for example, like this. And here you have some optional settings and content. You can do it in HTML, plain text, or rich text, but rich text is like the easiest one. You can format the text and so on. So here you can put wherever you need, but we choose recipient as assignee, and we need to make sure that this assignee is actually there, because if we won't have assignee, it won't be working. So let's put here an if condition. And once again, work item fields condition, we've already done that. Assignee is not empty. So now every single time where we have like priority equals critical and is assigned to somebody, you can send it. If you don't want to, if you know that it won't be assigned and it will be empty, you can, for example, decide that you will send it to Slack channel. So then you can even create Slack channel for incident, but we know that it can get messy because we have many incidents per day. But send message is fine. You need to connect Slack there. It's very simple, one webhook, all info there. I can't do it because it's my demo instance and my real instance is connected with Slack. But then you need to connect it and you have like very little option to choose the channel and choose the message. And that's all. So the trigger is the most important here. When work item is created, priority equals critical, then you can send message, or you can, for example, validate if there is an assignee and send email. Okay. And now something for linked issues. Maybe let's create this one also from scratch. And okay. So the thing with linked issues is that you have like in comments, there is a different light there. Like very often you have like many threads. And for example, if you have 3 different tickets that are linked to each other, it would be good to have those comments like synchronized, or at least that you are notified that the new comment is existing. So the trigger will be here, work item commented. Here you have some to a drop down to choose a comment type. Comment is the main action. And next, we need to comment as well, but on work item. Just a second. Here we need to put a comment, for example, like, hey, the issue key was commented and comment is, and here you can put a comment body. But like how to actually find those linked issues. Let's do a branch there for all related, oh, it should be there actually. Yeah, for all related work items, and it should be something for linked work items. Link types, you can set all link types there, and that's it. So when we have a trigger that some work item is commented and we have linked work items, then we need to comment it on all these work items that we have a comment. And in that way, you won't like get lost with a thread of linked issues. Some of them are like blockers, some of them like duplicates and so on. You know how the life can be on the Jira board. Okay. And we have a time for maybe one more, but I have this one. Okay, this one is going to be a little bit more complicated, but let's take a look. Okay, so what we like to also automate for our customers is, of course, employee onboarding. This is the first thing we always think about automating onboarding and offboarding. So, because it's a very repetitive process. So here we have something that we pull out for a customer about welcome kit. So this is based on Jira Service Management forms. So when the form is submitted and the form is not empty, then create a subtask for human resources project, for a parent work item, send welcome gift as summary, and some description, priority. And here, as you can see, we are copying assignee from work item. And the next branch is justification for standard laptop. So if in the form we have a form about non-standard justification of laptop, somebody fills in, then it is also the work item that we edited and we put a comment there. And also when the form is submitted, the HR resources has a subtask to schedule benefits check. Review the benefit information, schedule a check in the new hire. And we have a lot of automations about onboarding, and I'm going to show you one really long one in a second. But yep, that was all from what I have prepared from the easiest one. Also, what you can do, you can also create, for example, Confluence pages. Maybe let's find it. Create Confluence page from, it's not that. Okay, very quick, we have time. So when work item is created and work fields condition, I like to set it up this way, issue type equals something. For example, let's make it marketing assets. I work in marketing, so this is going to be use case, but let's paint a picture here. Every single time I need to, this is quite good for non-technical teams, but if every single time I need to create a marketing article, blog article, and this is going to be marketing assets issue type, I want to create a Confluence page for it. So then publish new page in Confluence. Yeah, we will have to connect, but then you can put smart values in summary and name this Confluence page with the name of this work item. So if this work item is called blog article, how to use Jira, we will have new Confluence page created, how to, like, marketing article, how to create Jira. And then you need to define what space and even what template you would like to use. So very simple and quite useful when you create lots of content or lots of documentation. Even if you have, for example, like new feature coming out and you need to create a documentation for it, that's the way to automate it. And also then you can edit comment. Here you can edit the edit comment or add a comment, and you can link with this Confluence page there, of course. So when you created this work item, open it and you have Confluence page there to know where to find this content. Okay, going back to my presentation, give me a second. Okay. So what we've just seen, it was like about 6-7 very basic automation that you can implement like right after this webinar. Just go ahead, think about things that you can actually automate and just do it, just test it. Remember that you have automation limits. If you are on the free plan, I think you have only 100 of them per month, but if you are on a standard, it's a lot of them, so don't worry. But you can do so much more with automations. But automations should be strategic, map to your teams, map to your process, not just tactical. Like what I just showed you was a perfect for creating a little tweaks, but now I want to show you example of automations that are not only a little adjustment, but actually run the whole operations and are like big machines. And this is the process that we automated in 100%. We implemented in Grid.io, but we also implemented it for our customers, and it's about new client onboarding. So first of all, let's paint a picture. What usually happens when you don't have automated habitat, you have like multiple tabs, people creating projects, assigned tasks, like sending emails, tickers are lost, emails are lost, customer is waiting, pressure is growing, and the chaos is happening. So most teams spend hours each week just keeping the system alive, and we just can automate it. So here you can see what we, like a little breakdown, what we automated. And I will show you the steps right away. But here what happened when a deal marked, we have a deal marked as won. One click is triggering complete ecosystem. So we have a CRM, we use HubSpot. The deal is won. So then we have new Jira project created with a unique key, all permissions, notifications, workflows that are standardized, and all onboarding tasks instantly assigned. We have a Confluence page tree generated from a template. We replace their placeholders for the actual client name, CRM data, like company name, primary contact, time zones, and so on. And also emails are automatically injected. So actually no one has to type anything manually. Then the team is notified instantly via Slack or Jira comment, I think, so they can start working on right away. And I think we can save per 2-3 hours per every client. And the best part is actually quite repetitive. So here you can see, it's not even the whole automation because I couldn't put it in the one sequences, but I want to be clear, this is extremely comprehensive, complicated. One wrong trigger that can lock you a little bit out, one bad condition, it can duplicate thousands of tickets. So this is quite important to be very carefully in creating so big and comprehensive automations. But yeah, it's not even about just the client onboarding. What we also do very often, we automate assets management, and this is really cool too. So if you track as in asset management your laptops, your hardware, your software, and so on. So for example, when we onboard new person, we search for laptops that can be used, that we have in company, and they are free. We can, when offboarding, the same goes. When we have hardware approval, new laptop requested, laptop is broken, we automated everything to be replaced in assets management. And the same when goes to onboarding and offboarding employees. I showed you this a little bit, automation with welcome kit, but also the same goes with finding a right laptop for the new person, creating a new person in asset management, and so on. And you can do all of it with automation. No spreadsheet, no chasing, no did somebody remember to grant access to this new people, all automated, subtask to IT support in a second when you hire the new one person. So yeah, this isn't like about saving 20 minutes per week, it's about whole operational control. And what I've show you today, it's about 20% of what's actually possible. Automation is very easy to start, quite hard to architect. And yeah, what I else got for you today, if you would like to build automations in a big way with scaling in mind, and not only for minor use cases, but creating machines about assets, onboarding, and so on, we open free Jira strategy. It's a free call. You can grab a slot. We are quite full lately, so we have only 8 slots, but if you would like to work with us on that and on other Jira things, just feel free to grab it.